We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. Today we're going to preview the 2023 NWCA All-Star Classic. So this is going to be a very exciting duel. I guess it's a duel. Because, I mean, it is stacked with some of the top wrestlers. I mean, we arguably could be seeing maybe like, I don't know, 7 NCAA final matches, I think, potentially 7 or 8.
I'd say at least 7.
Potential.
Could be. Yeah. I don't think 65. I don't
think
31.
I don't think 33.
And I don't think 33. Yeah. Probably at least 7. Could
I'd say 7 potentials.
7 potentials. So yeah, I mean, this is a star-studded event. Penn State's pretty much got their whole lineup wrestling in it. And we're gonna give a preview for each matchup, starting off at 125. Number 1, Matt Ramos versus number 2, Anthony Noto. So obviously we got to talk about Matt Ramos first because he lost to a high schooler. But I don't think he should be docked too much for one match with an incredibly talented wrestler in Marcus Blaze. He rebounded pretty darn good after that loss by pinning what was the guy's name from Columbia?
Oh, that
Nicholas Babin.
Yeah.
In 17 seconds. 17 seconds, yeah. I mean, just pinning anyone in 17 seconds is impressive. And Babin won 2 matches at NCAA's last year. So
yeah,
I think he rebounded pretty darn good. And it's literally November, so I think
this is a loss that
just fine.
It's not going to really be remembered come NCAAs. Like, it's not going to be like, oh yeah, remember he lost to Marcus Blaze back then. He can't win an NCAA title.
We'll see about that one.
He's going to be wrestling Anthony Noto, who took 4th at last year's NCAA. Before Matt Ramos beat Spencer Lee, Noto got a crack at Spencer Lee, and he actually turned him on top.
Yeah.
So the dude is an absolute hammer on top.
It's not often someone could say they turned Spencer Lee.
He lost 14-4, but still, he turned him.
Hey, he turned him.
He's got some impressive wins. He beat Killian Cardinale. He beat Liam Cronin. He beat Eric Barnett. He lost to Brandon Courtney in overtime at last year's NCAA tournament. His record was 34-4. So who do you guys got between Ramos and Noto?
I think that if Marcus Blaze had won the Clarion Open, I would be more in favor of Matt Ramos not falling from grace. But he lost his next match to someone that was, as we know, Braden Palmer, talented wrestler. But we didn't have him in our top, 20. I mean, top 10.
We had him in.
He's all honorable mention.
Well, at a weight class up.
Yeah, that's true. At a weight class up. But I feel like if Matt Ramos and Braden Palmer both lost to Marcus Blaze, I would say, okay, this was a really, really like once in a lifetime kind of wrestler. They both lost. It's, it's more forgivable. But seeing Marcus Blaze be returned back to he's not beating, Braden Palmer, it makes me think the Matt Ramos loss is even it stings that much more for me.
I don't think it stings more for me because I mean Braden Palmer is coming down from a weight class up where he was round of 16, so like the sting isn't quite there, and it was a competitive match. I mean, it was pretty close. So I think Ramos is going to edge out Noto.
The thing that worried me was his inability to finish. He got in several times and couldn't finish on a talented high schooler, but a high schooler nonetheless.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that if he shows that same inability to finish, and he got in on the leg several times, got in on several shots, but he was out scrambled and just couldn't finish his shots.
Well, yeah, it's funny. The crazy scramble against Blaze that was like 30 plus seconds ended in no score, but then the shot after that was like
Yeah.
Where was all the defense? Did you get tired? Like, what happened?
So that's what I'm saying. I guess it depends what version of Matt Ramos shows up. If he wrestles like he did against Marcus Blaze, I think Noto's going to take it. But Matt Ramos probably is going to bounce back and say, "Yeah,
Yeah, it could have
I'm
been a
not
wake
making
up
that."
call. Like,
That's what I'm
just
thinking.
lost to a freaking high school kid. Like, let's go. Let's get my act together. I got to go kill Noto now at the NWCA.
I don't care how much he wants it. I don't think he wrestled. I don't think he looked good in several matches.
Which, I mean, you could also argue at the NCAAs he didn't look good because he almost
that's
lost.
What I'm saying. But he's so hit or miss.
What matters, is peaking at the NCAAs. I don't think Matt Ramos, if he loses to Noto, I don't think he's gonna be like, but he wins the national title. I don't think he's gonna say, "Darn, well, I'd rather have the inverse."
I'd rather be the NWCA a All-Star Classic.
I agree with Jack though. I think that his first match against Vinny Kilgore, he didn't look good, and he didn't look good against Marcus Blaze, and he had 2 techs in there and a pin that was great. But you're expected to dominate when you're the 1 seed
in the country.
Exactly. Not just the 1 seed, but the number 1 ranked guy in the country. I'm gonna go with Noto, and it might be the upset, but
I mean, I wouldn't really classify it as an upset because, I mean, yeah, they have it as listed as number 1 and number 2, but the most up-to-date flow rankings now
like number
Ramos
3
at 3. Internet has Ramos at 3, so Noto's now number 1. So technically, Ramos winning would be the upset.
Yeah. Well, I got Noto regardless.
I have Noto as well. I think
I got Ramos alone by myself.
A killer on top, and that's something that guys should be watching out.
I mean, I'd love to see Noto turn him.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna stick with Ramos.
All right. And viewers, make sure you're commenting down below. We'd love to see your whole prediction of all 10 weights of who you're going to win. So right now we have Noto, 2 out of 3. Going up to 133, Sam Latona, number 4, based on this Flow article. Again, that's changed. Well, no, it hasn't changed.
Actually, no, for Flow, it has not changed.
Yeah, we were bashing
Still has him at 4, despite losing to an unranked wrestler.
Yeah.
What goes into their rankings? That could be a whole nother freaking rant for me, but like, I don't get how they could keep a guy who loses to an unranked wrestler at the same exact thing.
We love you, Flo. We love you. You're doing your best. He's going to be wrestling Connor McGonagle from Lehigh, number 6. I don't think these guys, I'm looking it up right now. It doesn't look like they've ever wrestled.
I don't think they've met, yeah.
But McGonagle is from New England.
Yeah, he is. He's a Timberland kid.
New Hampshire.
So something interesting is that Connor McGonagle has beaten Kairini, and Sam Latona has swapped matches with Arini. So they've both beaten an All-American in Kairini, but as we
Latona's
just saw,
Wiley.
What'd you say?
But Latona's Wiley.
Wiley?
Yeah,
he's Wiley.
Like the coyote.
Yeah, like the coyote. Like
Wiley Coyote?
I wasn't going to say Wiley Coyote, but he's Wiley. Like,
I don't know.
Wild man.
I don't know.
Wildly?
No, not wildly.
Wiley.
Wiley. I don't know how to.
I call him Icy, but
yeah, Icy. Well, not recently, but yeah.
No, yeah, we just talked about it. I mean, I think it was a fluke. Gabe Weisenhunt beat him 10-9.
It was definitely a fluke.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.
I watched that match.
There's that.
Latona would win 100%, 99 out of 100 of those.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who beat Vito Arujau last year, so
yeah.
I mean, he takes a lot of losses. He was 28-8 last year. The year before that, 14-9. The year before that, 14-3. So he has 24 career losses. So it's not like he's invincible, but he also beats a lot of really good guys.
So Wiley, devious or cunning stratagems?
Yeah, that's Sam Latona right there.
I don't think it's going to be enough. I call it New England bias, call it a recency bias, because even though he kind of had a fluke loss, it's still a weird loss. I'm going to go with Connor McGonagle, only for the fact that I like him as a wrestler. I've gotten to see him wrestle in person. I know that he's scrappy. And I'm not sure what version of Sam Latona is going to show up. He's wildly different in every event. ACC is 1 year versus another. NCAA is 1 year versus another.
He
Knocks
knows how
off.
to beat Camacho.
He does know how to beat Camacho. We can give him that. But Conor McGonagle also knows how to beat Danbury kids.
I think Sam Latona is going to take this one. Conor McGonagle, he was, I think, the 5 seed at NCAAs, but then he got injured at the IWAs, so he didn't compete at the tournament. I think he's definitely a tough wrestler, but he hasn't really proven anything. He's not an All-American. He's not even around a 12 or around a 16 guy. His record in 2022 was 11-12.
Wasn't he like the 6th seed at NCAAs before he defaulted out?
5, I think.
Last year, right?
Yeah, last year.
I had him as an All-American pick last year when we made our brackets.
I think you had him on your fantasy.
Yeah, I did, and then I got screwed by that.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely made a lot of improvements over the years, but I think Mike said it best. It depends on which version of Sam Latona shows up. But I think Sam Latona is going to take it.
I think Sam Latona is going to win. Even watching him in the loss, despite losing the match, he out wrestled Weisenhunt. So he looked good other than the 7-point move he gave up. So I think he'll end up beating McGonagle.
Okay, so commenters, who do you got? Sam Latona or Conor McGonagle? Moving up to 141, Lachlan McNeil of UNC versus Clay Carlson, South Dakota State. These guys have not matched up. Lachlan McNeil was a freshman last year.
Yeah, he had a breakout NCAA tournament. I don't think.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere. I think he took 3rd at ACCs, and then he takes 4th at nationals.
Yeah, just exploded onto the scene. And did Carlson All-American this year? I know he took 7th. A year or two ago.
Last year, he was around 12 the year before that, and then in 8th place in 2021. So he definitely turns it up at NCAAs, but he's another guy that has a lot of losses. So last year, 28-10. Year before that, 33-6. Year before that, 20-9. The year before that, 21-16.
I'm gonna jump right out the gate and say Lachlan McNeil's winning this match.
I think I agree with that.
I think he's just going to build off of what he did last year. And, he was young when he did it, and he's a little bit more seasoned now. Carlson's one of those kind of journeyman guys that's he's good, he's solid, but I don't think he's going to be a top tier guy. He might All-American again, but I think McNeil's going to. Plus, you got Rob Cole in his corner.
The Rob Cole effect.
Kind of difference maker is that going to make?
That's true. And he's Canadian.
Oh, he's got that going for him. Okay.
That's too bad.
Mike, who do you have?
That's too bad.
I was just surprised that, looking at some of these guys, we see a lot of 1s and 2s. I was just surprised Bo Bartlett wasn't wrestling against Real Woods.
Maybe they were oh, we got too many Penn State guys on this. Let's not ask Bo.
Penn State's hosting, so that could be where they're just forget about it. But I feel like that would be a really great match to see but they are going to wrestle a lot in the dual Big Tens and probably NCAAs at some point.
Big Tens? What are you talking about? Who?
Woods.
Woods
and Bartlett.
Woods. There isn't an Iowa guy on here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because they're not good, he could be there for them.
They're not.
Brands don't want to be in the All-Star Classic. They don't want to wrestle the good guys.
They did last year. They had Cassiope got beat pretty good by Kirk.
Yeah, that scared them off. They're no, we can't let them see us except in the duel and in the Big Ten tournament. And then at the NCAAs, if we match up.
I got McNeil though. I'm going McNeil.
Clean sweep for McNeil here.
Clean sweep.
149, Shayne Van Ness versus Kyle Parco.
I wonder who Mike's going to pick.
That's right, Kyle Parco. We'll be losing to Shayne Van Ness.
Well, so they wrestled last year at the NCAAs, and Van Ness beat him 7-2. And I don't think it was really close either.
Now that there's a 3-point
Parco's
takedown.
all over the place. Parco's had overtime matches with Sammy Sasso, but then he's also gotten majored by Sammy Sasso. So it's it doesn't make sense.
to be fair, Sammy Sasso cuts a lot of weight, so you could potentially just be losing by a lot and then chase your way back to an overtime situation just to lose anyway.
Well, that wasn't the case against Parco. At least Parco blew the match in the overtime match at NCAAs I'm talking about. My money actually is on Parco.
Whoa.
I think it's early on in the season. I think
Penn State? Are you crazy?
Are you bananas?
It's not like it's at Iowa and this is an Iowa guy.
You don't think like Penn State fans are gonna flood that thing?
Oh, I'm sure Penn State fans are going to flood that thing.
What about how the 3-point takedown works now? I feel like the score is going to be even more wide in Van Ness's favor.
I disagree.
Wow.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I think that Parco is gonna be able to out wrestle Van Ness here. I think he'll probably win like by a point.
By a point?
Yeah.
You think he'll take him down?
No.
I think he could. Yeah, I mean, Parco's solid. He's improved every year. Basically,
he beat Austin Gomez. He beat Brock Mahler. He beat Max Murin last year.
Van Ness's only loss at NCAAs was to Yanni.
Yeah, okay, but how many losses did he have going into NCAAs?
This
isn't NCAAs. This is the NWCA All-Star Classic.
That is true.
It's why Kyle Parco's going to win. If this was NCAAs, I'd say Kyle Parco's probably going to lose by a major. But this is the NWCA All-Star Classic. I'm picking Kyle Parco here.
Don't you come at me with facts and logic. I'm going. So Jack, you're the decider here.
I think Van Ness is going to win.
Hooray!
So number 157, number 1 Levi Haines versus number 4 Jacori Teemer. Interesting so far. Besides that, last one, none of these guys have ever wrestled before, so this is getting interesting. Jacori Teemer is like what, 5th year senior, I think. He was injured.
Well, no, he took a medical red shirt last year because he tore his pec.
Yeah, he is. Let's see how. I feel like I remember him getting to college. I don't feel like he's.
This is his 6th season in the NCAAs. He's a 2-time All-American. Did not wrestle last year. He took 6th in 2022 and 4th in 2021.
He was in the semis in 2022, I think.
So, I mean, he lost to Ryan Deacon, he lost to Peyton Robb, and he lost to Will Luan in overtime. But he beat.
He lost to.
I don't think he's
Robb
lost
in overtime.
He beat Josh Humphreys. He's beaten Jared Franek. His hit list is pretty good, and
I'm all in on Jacori Teemer winning this match.
I don't know how you believe.
I don't
that.
think
he
Levi
beat Hayden
Haines
Hidley 18-12. Sorry,
he beat Hidley.
Hayden Hidley 18-12.
That's probably his most impressive match, if I would say. I feel like Hidley's a very tough guy to beat.
Yeah, especially 18-12. Damn,
that's
a lot of points. No, yeah, I think Teemer's going to win. I don't think Haines is ready for a matchup with a guy like Teemer.
A guy returning from an injury?
Yeah, a guy returning from a pec injury. Exactly.
You don't think like he was battle tested last year enough?
He did beat Will Luan and Peyton Robb, both guys that have also beaten Jacori Teemer, and
he beat
Levi Haines as a
Antonio.
true freshman.
But Jacori Teemer is now healthy and better than ever.
Yeah, but Levi Haines,
don't know that.
Like, he could be worse in just taking the match.
Worse. I am confident that Jacori Teemer is better than ever.
Listen, Mekhi Lewis won an NCAA title and got injured, and he hasn't been the same since.
Yeah.
But he didn't injure his pec.
He injured his shoulder. It's like a pec.
It's just different, okay?
I think
I may stand alone here, but when Jacori Teemer wins, we can reference this right here. Otherwise, shame on me for going against Levi.
I think Levi's the truth. I think I gotta pick Levi over Teemer.
Levi Haines, a young Jason Dolph.
Who's gonna lose to Jacori Teemer?
I don't know about that. I feel like Jacori Teemer is one of those guys that we've talked about this before. The more years you have, the more your body breaks down. I feel like he's kind of past it at this point. And maybe I'm wrong, but
McGee
I feel like
he wasn't past it last year. McGee almost beat RBY.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he did beat Jayden Fix.
And he did beat Dayton Fix, who he lost to by like 4 the year before. Maybe it was 3.
That's fair, but coming back from injury is tough. I mean, especially after not wrestling for a full year. Levi Haines is a true freshman, takes second in NCAAs. Now you give him a year to actually train and grow instead of have his red shirt year in a sense. He took second at nationals.
I'd be very interested to see what your pitch would be if Levi Haines was for Arizona State and Jacori Teemer was on Penn State.
Are the seeds still the same?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So Levi Haines is the 4, and then Jacori Teemer be the 1. Is Levi Haines coming back from an injury, or is it Jacori Teemer coming back from an injury?
Still Jacori coming back from an injury.
I have him losing that. I feel like the injury is the big thing.
Well, I guess it'll be the real test here to see, because I mean, how competitive can he be? Can he win the match, or I guess it could.
Yeah, I'm excited for this match, but honestly, I'm more excited to see Levi Haines versus Meyer Shapiro.
Yeah, I think I'm expecting.
I don't know if I'm more excited to see that. Right now, I'm pretty excited to see Jacori Teemer against Haines, but it's probably because I think that Jacori's going to beat him.
Yeah.
Which, again, I may be standing alone on that flag. With that flag.
What's going through your head over there?
So 165.
People in the comments that agree, back me up.
165.
All you Arizona State fans.
Yeah, 165 is probably the what's the opposite of the marquee matchup?
The low key.
The low key matchup. Dean Hamiti versus Izzy Olejnik. We all wanted to see David Carr, Keegan O'Toole. Once one of them said no, the other one said no. We didn't even see it last year. They had 2 165-pound bouts last year. They didn't even wrestle.
Also didn't want in on this action.
Yeah, Camamine, I don't know. But I love Dean Hamiti. He's a guy who's really, really funky, really exciting to watch. I think Izzy Olejnik's tough, but Hamiti, he's right there, but he can't beat Camamine, and he's just not on the same level as David Carr or O'Toole, so he's going to be kind of stuck at that number 4 slot, I think. But I think he'll beat Olejnik.
I think it was a Flow interview. It might have been with Christian Piles that he was like saying the one reason why, I mean, I could be quoting the wrong person, but one reason why I love Dean Hamiti is because his ultimate goal isn't to be a national champion. It's to be a Hodge Trophy winner. Like, that's what he wants to score points, and he wants to beat guys by a lot. So I don't think this match is going to be close. I think Hamiti is going to just go out there and just run Olejnik.
So they've matched up 3 times before. Hamiti's won 7-3 at NCAAs last year. At Midlands, Hamiti won 6-0, and then pinned him at the Cougar Clash.
Yeah, this is Hamiti all day.
I Olejnik would have to do a throw to his back or something to win this.
But he's at OKST State this year.
No, I don't know if
you really think the John Smith, Coleman Scott connection is going to be making the difference?
No.
No, not at all.
No, I know. So
174.
On paper, this looks like an exciting matchup, but then you realize that
fireworks
is going to be so boring.
Yeah,
this is going to be the most boring. This is going to be like as if you have a sparkler at the fireworks grand finale.
Carter versus Mekhi. Obviously, they've matched up several times. One in the NCAA finals.
That match was at least exciting.
It was exciting.
They went to overtime in that match.
I mean, it was 5-5. It was an underwhelming finish because the match was decided on how quickly they each escaped. But
it just stems to the fact that Carter can ride him, and that's it. Because that's how last year at the NWCA, it was the same exact matchup.
If there's not a takedown in this match, this is easily the most boring match of the entire bunch.
Carter only won because Mekhi chose down and rode him out.
Yeah.
And Carter doesn't try and turn; he just leeches on. And
do you think that the new stalling rules are going to impact this at all?
So I don't think they implemented the stalling rule on top where you have to be working to turn.
I think you're only allowed to sit on the leg for 5 seconds, though.
Oh, yeah.
And Carter likes to do that Western.
He does. He milks that a lot.
So
yeah, that could affect his ride.
Yeah, could affect it.
In which case, he'll need a takedown. But regardless, this is gonna. I have no expectations of this match being an exciting one to watch. This is the match where, like, oh, actually, I'm thirsty. I could miss a couple part of this match and not really miss anything. Miss the first two periods, come back. Oh, the score's still the same. Cool.
Carter wins 2-1. So both getting it. Carter rides him for a minute, cuts him, stalls.
I mean, I don't see any way, shape, or form that Mekhi wins the match, but
I don't think it's gonna be very exciting. I think Carter wins, but it's like, wow, what a and then you're gonna get, and I love Penn State, but you're gonna get like some Penn State fanboys that are like, what an incredible ride by Carter Starocci. Nobody rides Mekhi Lewis like Carter Starocci. What a dominant 2-1 victory.
What a great nap I just had. Like,
well, do you think Lewis goes down?
I don't know.
Probably.
I think that Carter.
I don't think he's gonna go, oh yeah, let's go neutral. I'm so good at getting takedowns.
Yeah. The problem is he didn't take a single shot in the match last year.
Yeah, but he faked. He even got changed level. And
he got stall warned even. Like Carter was the one pushing the pace.
I would love to see Carter win 1-0 just because I think it'd be even more frustrating than winning 2-0 like he did last season.
1-0 on a stall. He chooses neutral just to be like, I'm gonna win on the stall point.
Technical violation, hands to the face. That's how he wins.
Yeah.
I think Carter wins this as well.
Yeah, I think we're pretty sure Carter's gonna win. I just don't think it's gonna be very exciting. Maybe it'll be like I don't see this getting more than like a 5-2 match at most.
Yeah, one takedown.
Yeah. I'd see this being a 4-1, maybe 5-1 if with riding time potentially.
I kind of wish that Carter was more like Bo Nickel and would like go for big moves and try and get like a 7-point move here and there, but he doesn't do
Bo
that.
Nickel, what a maniac. Love Bo Nickel.
So 184. This one's actually going to be really exciting because
I'm super pumped for this.
These have matched up and they've been close both times. Parker Keckeisen versus Bernie Truax. They wrestled in 2022 NCAA tournament. The first time, I believe, Bernie beat him 6-5.
And yeah, they're always super tight matches.
And then they matched up for third and fourth, and Keckeisen won 6-4. So
yeah, it could go either way.
It's a toss up.
I gotta give,
but nobody takes fourth.
Like Bernie Truax.
I love it.
I'm gonna give. Who knows how to beat Parker Keckeisen?
Aaron Brooks,
who's been training with Bernie Truax.
I don't think the associate property is working.
No, but my point is with this is I think you can be like, hey man, like let's tailor some things to your wrestling style against Parker and just like game plan for this match.
Truax wrestles like Brooks enough.
That's the thing. They have completely different styles.
Truax, yeah, but I think that you can coach him through, look for this, look for that. I think that he's been incredibly successful before, and now just having someone that has wrestled and beaten Parker Keckeisen so many times throughout their career, helping him and wrestling with him and training with him, I feel like it's going to give him a little bit of an edge. I mean, this match, yeah,
I get that, but he's been able to beat Parker Keckeisen without.
That's what I'm saying, and so now I feel like, but it's been a 50-50. I feel like now I'd give it 75-25 in Truax's favor.
Yeah, but Keckeisen is in Northern Iowa.
Say the name again.
I guess I can't say it right.
Keckeisen.
Keckeisen. Parker. My vote is Parker is going to win this match. Keckeisen.
We'll work on it.
I
got Bernie.
Pronunciation is not
good. Bernie.
I'm ready to feel the burn.
Whoa.
And feel the burn when Penn State loses this match.
State guy, can you believe it?
Yeah, I think Parker beats Bernie this time 7-6.
Keckeisen wrestled Brooks last year at this, right?
Yeah, and Aaron, I think, had a major just about secured, and then he just gave him a takedown at the end. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he was just like, oh, yeah, I'll just take me down. That's good.
I think that the 3-point takedown would have really secured it for Aaron, though. I mean, he had several takedowns on Parker last year at this event.
That's not how Truax wrestles.
My point is, like you were talking about last year.
Truax is like he goes into the splits. He's very flexible.
Yeah, I even with his training partners being different, even with him having Kale, I still think that Keckeisen is gonna win.
I also have Parker Keckeisen winning this, but I think it could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it could go either way, but I don't think Bernie's winning.
I'm going with Bernie.
Comments down below. Who do you got, Keckeisen or Bernie? All right, 197. Aaron Brooks versus Tanner Sloan. Now,
NCAA returning five.
Instead of guessing who's going to win this, let's try and guess the score because we know Aaron Brooks is probably going to win this. Right?
I was about to
What's
say,
the score of the NCAA finals?
Lopsided match for him.
When Sloan lost, what was his? What did he lose
against Bonacorsi?
Yeah, 7-.
Well, he got the first takedown.
Yeah, was it like 7-3?
I have it right here. It was 5-3.
It's 5-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Brooks will probably win. Like,
how about this though? Tanner Sloan beat a Mr. Bernie Truax last year.
Well, yeah, that was the semi, right? The semis.
Yeah, but Bernie was weighing in at like 176 for this.
Doesn't matter.
I remember texting.
He was not 176. He was more like 186.
No, I remember texting you guys about this because he was on like a podcast or something.
Yeah,
like, would he be going 197, weighing 170?
Help out the team.
Okay, the team can't need that much help.
The best
guy is going up 2 weights.
I was wrong with the weights. So this is what he weighed. He weighed 184 on day 3. He was 187, 185, and 184 were his 3 weigh-ins for the 3 days of NCAAs.
That's not that.
I will say that's very impressive for someone who's bumped up weight classes. I mean, I can't imagine him 13 pounds and still competing as well as he did.
That's what I mean. I feel like at 184, not to go back to 184, but I feel like he's like, hey, I'm actually at my natural body weight.
Yeah. I think Brooks is going to win 13-3.
He's a beast on top. He's a friggin' animal in neutral. The 3-point takedown, he can't be ridden. I just think that Aaron Brooks is going to win with whatever score margin he decides he wants.
It's going to be, I think, a major. I think he's going to get bonus.
Yeah, I think definitely a major.
I don't think we're giving Tanner Sloan enough credit. I mean, the dude, his only losses last year were to the national champ, Rocky Elam, who was an All-American, and he lost to Andy Smith of Virginia Tech 5-2. That was his one bad loss. But I don't know, man. Like, South Dakota State has just like risen to relevancy in the past few years.
Damian Hahn.
Yeah, the Damian Hahn effect. And but I wouldn't be so sure that Brooks is just going to walk over. We haven't seen Brooks at this weight collegiately.
All right. Who would you say is a better wrestler, Tanner Sloan or Zahid Valencia?
But again, not at 197 though.
Yeah, but at 92 kilo, which is, I don't know.
Yeah. Zahid got 92 kilos and had a lot of success.
What is 92 kilo?
It's like 2.
Oh, my bad. It's 203.
Yeah, it's 203.
And Aaron Brooks
didn't beat Valencia at 92 kilo, right?
He beat him at 86 kilo, which is 190 pounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not at 197.
But he almost he would have majored him theoretically. He won 10-6 or 10-4, whatever it was.
No, I think it was 10-6. I think Zahid had like a 6-point lead and then gave up 10 unanswered.
I just think Aaron Brooks is too relentless in his scoring efforts. I think that he's going to do really, really dominate.
I think Tanner Sloan is in for a hurting.
Wow. I don't think it's going to be as lopsided as you guys
think
it is.
Aaron Brooks is going to win, though. You just don't think it'll be a major?
Well,
it'll be a tech pin.
I think
Brooks will be about to tech him.
No. I think it might be a major, but only because of the 3-point takedowns. I don't think it's going to be a major with normal 2-point takedowns.
That's bold.
We'll see.
I hope you're right. Actually, no, I don't.
No.
I hope Aaron Brooks beats the dog out of him.
Where are my South Dakota fans here?
I'm sure they're going to show up, but I just.
By the way, something
in the comments.
Something completely unrelated. I was watching the App State versus NC State on YouTube Live, and they had the chat going, and Isaac Trumbull was in there, and then John Deagle hopped in there. And
You hopped in?
no, I wasn't chatting, but I was reading the comments. There was one guy, I forget his name, he was an App State fan, and he kept going like, "Go App State," and everyone was bashing this guy. They're like, why are there NC State guys? This is App State hosting. Like, get out of here. This is really funny.
Go App State.
Anyway, NC State did whoop them.
They only won like one match, right?
Yeah. All right. So last match, 285. I mean, this is probably the matchup.
I think this is the marquee matchup.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this is the marquee matchup, that heavyweight is the match that's going to be.
Yeah, you never say that about heavyweight. But this one really, I mean, Kerkvliet and Hendrickson, they matched up not at semifinals of NCAA's last year.
NCAA semifinals. It was 4-2.
And we know that Kirk won, but Hendrickson got the takedown. There was only one takedown. Imagine that happened this year. That's 3 points. And then the whole thing was that Kirk just wrote him out. And like we've talked about this matchup before, maybe Wyatt doesn't choose bottom this year. He's so good on top. He's turning everyone. He's pinning all Americans.
Yeah. After he lost to Kirk, he pinned his next two guys, which is Lucas Davison and Tony Cassiope. So,
and I mean, he just won a U23.
Yeah, he won
U23 gold.
Yeah,
beating a guy that
senior level bronze.
Yeah, it's senior level bronze. I mean, this guy's on a next level. I don't know if we could say the same thing that Kirk would be able to do that if he was given the opportunity.
I am extremely confident that Wyatt is going to beat Kirk at this match.
Is it my turn?
Yes, go ahead.
Flo actually did an article about this, and I was kind of surprised at who they picked because Wyatt seems like the safer choice, and they didn't go with that. They went with Greg.
They have Kirk flanked one. They're not going to go against themselves.
I mean, have you seen their rankings? They just make up rules as they go.
Yeah, I know. Come on. You can lose a match to an unranked guy and not actually go down in the rankings. It makes perfect sense.
So I'm just going to read quick what Flo wrote. They said that, Wyatt's made incredible progress in his 3 years. Wholeheartedly agree that he's made massive strides. From failing to place for 2 years to suddenly making, third. But they put a lot of weight on the head-to-head matchup that they had. And they said that, Hendrickson has all the tools to take him out. And they agree that he probably has the edge in neutral. But he has to put, a complete match together and really work on his bottom weakness. So, like we talked about, I don't think he's going to go bottom. I think he's going to say third period neutral. If he gets taken down, that'll be one thing. And that's what they said Kirk's best shot is to have the advantage on the mat wrestling. And, he just has to have the neutral skills to take him down, which we've seen because he's beaten him before. He's also beaten Trent Hilger 3 times. He's beaten Mason Paris 3 times. He's beaten Tate Orndorff 5 times. He's beaten Cassiope 3 times.
Well, when he beat Mason Paris, that was the year Mason Paris was injured.
Debatably.
There's no debate. He was injured. I mean,
that's what they all say.
I don't know. I just think that the strides that Hendrickson's taken, especially this offseason with the gold medalists at Worlds.
Well, yeah, and even if you think about Hendrickson at the U.S. Open losing to Mason Paris, it was like 17-9. He was well on his way to teching Mason Paris before then giving up like 15 points straight or something. But still, like, that's the Hodge Trophy winner that he in freestyle he was extremely competitive with, scoring tons of points against. I'm very confident that this is why it's time to shine, and he will cap this NWCA All-Star Classic with the win.
Me and Flo don't agree about a lot, but I'm going to agree that Kirk is going to slow down Hendrickson, force him to take risky shots, and then control him through mat wrestling.
Yeah, I think that's a bold take.
But this is the one match, and I feel really confident on my picks. This is the one that I'm like, yeah, I can see this go either way in my mind. I'm very confident about the other ones. This is the one where I'm like, yeah, I can see Kirk losing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you can see it.
Wyatt Hendrickson for Hodge.
Hey, so he
That'd be
talked
great.
about this on the Bashamania podcast. He's like, yeah, like, I'm not a Hodge guy. He goes, but I'm the back-to-back most dominant wrestler in Division One.
Yeah.
Well, this is his year, unless the rumors about Gable coming back are true.
I guess you guys will have to tune in for that short or video that we're gonna do on Gable.
Yeah, freaking Gable. He's like, I need to stay relevant. I'm coming back. Just kidding.
I saw a comment already that from another thing. They're like, yeah, he's gonna come right back until the NCAA finals and then just disappear again.
NCAAs? Nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna.
I gotta trade for the.
That's all I need to see.
I gotta get ready for the Olympics, guys.
Yeah.
Wins the Olympic World Team spot. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it this season.
Not feeling it this year. Maybe next Olympic cycle.
Oh man. Well, I have Hendrickson winning actually. So I don't know if I was the tiebreaker there, but I think
you actually were because I chose Hendrickson and he chose Kirk.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little unfair with this being at Penn State.
I don't think that's going to affect Hendrickson's performance.
They're going to get an Iowa ref, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, they're going to get an Iowa ref. Perfect. So anyway. to recap the 10 with the 2 to 3, who did we have here? We had what, Noto, because you guys went with Noto.
Yeah, I think you guys went with Latona.
We went with Latona. We all went with McNeil.
Then Ness.
I was the only one to go Parco. Was I the only
Levi.
one?
I think you were the only one to go with Teemer as well.
I'm the only one showing Arizona State any love. Okay, I think we all went Hamiti.
Yep.
We all agreed.
We all went Starocci.
I went Bernie. I think you guys both went Parker, Keckeisen.
Yep.
I went Carker. Yeah.
Keckeisen.
Yeah. We all agreed Brooks, and we all agreed that Kirk would win as well.
No, we did not all agree. You were the only one that said Kirk was going to win.
Oh, well, it'll be tough when I'm the only one that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see it in the comments. Who's picking what?
Not only that, but how many of these do you think are actually going to be the NCAA finals come March? I think
6 or 7.
I think the 285 for sure.
285. Well, yeah, unless Gable comes back.
197. It could be 74. It could be 84. Could be 97.
Could be 97.
I don't think it'll be 97.
You don't think so?
I think Buchanan.
AJ Ferrari.
AJ Ferrari.
His eligibility is so. I'm super curious what happens with him.
It's not going to be 65. It could be 57.
Could be.
Yeah, possible.
Could be 49.
Yeah, you don't think Ridge is making the finals again?
I don't know.
It's not going to be 41 or 33.
41 or 33.
It won't be 33.
Could be 25.
Could
unless
be 25.
Marcus Blaze comes out of it.
I think that's only like 4.
Yeah, Marcus Blaze is going to get his GED online and enroll at
super early enrollment.
He's going to enroll at Sacred Heart. I think they have an early program for high schoolers.
They'll take him. That's good.
Well, anyway, yeah, make sure you comment down below, like the video, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.